Okay, here's some extra stuff. We're going to kind of put this together now, girls. Let's say knowing the slope, or how steep the line is, knowing the slope and the y-intercept of a line will allow us to graph it without, this is the good part, will allow us to graph it without having to use ordered pairs. Because you wouldn't want to go through that every time you were asked to graph a line, right? That's a lot. Okay, so let's say, here's our question. Let's graph a line. Let's graph a line that has a y-intercept, so it crosses the y-axis at a y-intercept of 3 and a slope of 3. Okay, so this relation is going to look like this. Y equals 3x plus 3. Okay, I'm going to show you how to do that now on here, our graph paper. Okay, so what we want to do first is we want to put the y-intercept, and this is right here. This is where we start. So we could say we're going to mark the y-intercept first. Mark or plot the y-intercept first. In this case, it's plus 3. So this, because there's no x, is 0, 3. Okay, so let's just do this part first. 0, 1, 2, 3. So we know the line is going to cross at a positive 3 somewhere, right? So it's going to go through that point, except we don't know how steep or shallow, or even the direction, because it could come in a negative way. Remember scatter plots? It could have a negative slope too. We'll talk more about that later. But so we need to figure out, okay, how steep is this thing? Well, we're going to use the slope for that. And we said the slope was 3, right? Okay, so this is how we'll do that. So our next sentence, from this point, comma, count 1 unit to the right. Remember, right is run. 1 unit to the right. This is going to be our run, so this will go along the x-axis. And our rise, and 3 units, up. This is going to be our rise in this example. Now that we'll have 2 points, draw a line. Okay, so let me try to make this as clear as I can. Our slope is 3. That's right here. That's actually 3 over 1. And we know slope is defined as rise over run. Okay, so from the y-intercept, we're going to run 1 and rise 3. So rise, 1, 2, 3, and the run is 1, always to the right. And we have 2 points now. So we're going to draw this line, and this line is going to pass through the y-axis at positive 3. So this is y equals 3x plus 3. Hopefully you have graph paper and did that. Make sure you label it, put the arrows on the line. Okay, so let's talk about some important stuff here. Okay, all linear relations have the same basic form. This is super important, girls. Y equals mx plus b. I'll tell you what these things are now. Okay, y, this y right here, this is a y coordinate. So y coordinate from an ordered pair. Okay. M is the slope. Remember, you might have to make a fraction because it's going to be rise over run. So for instance, if we have a slope of 4, right, if m is equal to 4, that actually means 4 over 1. So we would rise up 4 and run 1 from the y-intercept. X, this is a x coordinate. From the same, this is important, from the same ordered pair as the y, from the same ordered pair. It has to be the same ordered pair or it's not going to be on the line, girls. And then the last little ditty here, with this b, this is the y-intercept. I can't tell you how important that is. Okay, I'll stop there and then we'll figure some other stuff to do, okay? Un momento, por favor.